All right, hopefully we're live. It's always taking Facebook Live a minute to come up, so always throws me off. Anyway, today we're going to cover the topic of Unbreakable, Immovable, Unshakeable. And what this comes from this morning, I was doing a Bible study time with two men that I meet with every week. And we were going through the book of James, chapter 1. And the first thing that James comes out of his letter with is this: to count it all joy when you face trials. And so we talked through, well, where do you find the joy in that? And where James takes us is the fact that in those trials we build steadfastness or perseverance. The muscles of perseverance are built. And that in doing that, we become more complete as an individual. These trials actually create character formation. And when we say trials, what we need to understand is trials are those things that press in on us from the outside. They're the externals that we can't control. Temptations, on the other hand, are the things that come from within. And so what we want to focus on today is trials. Right now, many people are facing trials. And there's two choices that happen when we face trials. Do we retreat to our natural hiding places, our places of comfort, our places of compromise, or do we stand firm in the face of that trial and allow those faith muscles to build so that we become unbreakable, unshakable, immovable? You know, what happens is as you go through life, you exercise those faith muscles. You persevere, you stand strong, and you find that the next time you encounter pressure, you're better equipped to handle it. One of the things that I was telling these two men is that, you know, the things that kept me up at night in my 20s don't keep me up at night now that I'm approaching 50. And when I talk to men who are in their 70s and 80s, the things that keep me awake tonight aren't the things that keep them awake, because they've exercised their faith muscles. They're stronger. Their ability to endure and stand firm has increased in every circumstance. And so that's the thing I want to encourage you. And sometimes, you know, the reason we don't strengthen our faith and we don't strengthen our resolve and our steadfastness is because we get uncomfortable. The pressure's uncomfortable, the heat's uncomfortable, and we're so eager to get out of the fire without letting the process take its course. But if we'll stand firm, if we'll be faithful, if we'll trust God in those times of trial and allow Him to develop our faith, what we find over time is we don't get rattled easily. I gave them the illustration. So years ago when I was a police officer, I was a field training officer, which meant I trained rookie officers in how to do their job once they came out of the academy. And it was always interesting watching a brand new officer go into the fire for the first time, maybe a physical altercation or an armed conflict of some sort, and it would rattle them a little bit. But then the next time they would encounter something like that, you'd always see they were a little more steady. And over time, it got to where those things didn't faze them. They weren't rattled because they had built up those endurance muscles, those faith muscles, those steadfast muscles. So that's the thing I want to encourage you in today is don't be too quick to look for the escape hatch. Sometimes what we have to do is the really tough work, the really hard work to get further, to become stronger. Every time you go to the gym and you work with the trainer, they're doing things with you that really, quite honestly, would not be your first choice. But over time, as you see your strength improving, your flexibility improving, your endurance improving, and you see that you're just taking on a much better health stance, it all becomes worth it. And so you continue to go through that day after day. So anyway, just a few thoughts for you today. Hope you have an amazing day. I'll talk to you again soon.